Thank you everyone for joining us today for this conversation from idea to income. We're going to be exploring what it is to get money from your podcast. So if you're joining us, please, if you're a podcaster, write in the chat your podcast name. Let us know where you're joining us from. And welcome to this conversation. Hi, Lara. We are also looking forward to this conversation. I hope you can learn something new today for sure. And hopefully we all start to monetize our podcasts after this. Joy, I think you should be joining us soon. Yes. Hi, Joy.
Hi, I hope you can hear me clearly.
I can hear you clearly. I can see you clearly. Thank
Good.
you for joining us. Thank you
Thank
for
you for
giving us this
having me.
opportunity to have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
So we will start. My name is Gaboni. I am the community manager at Afripods. Afripods is a podcast hosting and distribution platform focused on the African storyteller, and we're building the largest library of African audio stories on the planet. Today, joining me for the conversation from idea to income, the podcaster's experience is Joy Mido, the host of Be That Woman podcast. Joy, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. I like to start my conversations in the same way always. So I ask my speakers to introduce themselves to us. Like we are people who do not know who you are. Tell
Yeah.
us your experience, tell us your name, tell us anything you want us to know about your favorite color, maybe. I mean,
Oh, that's
it's up to
good.
you.
I love it. So actually, no one has asked me my favorite color in such a long time. So that's a good question. Thank you so much for having me, Gadoni. So just a brief introduction. My name is Joy Mido. And I'm just a girl, I would say, a girl born in a small family. I'm an only child.
Oh, wow.
I'm an only child. I would say I'm navigating my 20s, but I'm soon hitting that big number.
30, welcome.
Actually, this year.
Oh, wow, that's so cool. Happy birthday in
Thank
advance.
you. Thank you so much. But what I do on the side is I do have an 8 to 5 also that I also navigate as well as just having this podcast. And for me, I think was more of looking for my purpose. That's why I thought of starting something that is so close to my heart. So I know you will deep dive into it, but generally just getting to know me is I'm always, I live up to my name. I'm Joy for a reason. That's what I choose to think.
Amazing.
So I think my parents are onto something there, but so I really, really love having a good time. I'm an extrovert. I love being around people. I love meeting new people, and I'm so happy to see people that are joining in all the way from Nigeria. So
Yes,
such
we
a
have people
pleasure.
from everywhere joining us now. Thank you for joining us today. If you are in the chat and you have a podcast, please let us know your podcast name in the chat. Also, let us know where you're joining us from. And if you have questions as we go along, please type them in the chat and we will ask Joy to answer them as well. Joy, you didn't tell us your favorite color.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. Oh, my favorite color is actually red.
Oh,
But I
wow.
think it changes depending on the seasons.
Uh-huh.
So there are times I really like black, like today. Well, maybe because of the weather as well.
It's cold in
But
your room for sure.
oh, it is really cold. But I really am a lover of red. So I love the boldness that red has to it.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yes.
That's amazing. That's so cool. Nice to meet you, Joy. And we'll start the conversation with let us know a bit about your podcast and what it's about, who inspired you to start, what inspired you to start. We can speak on that first.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So let's just dive into it. So for this joining in, thank you once again just for being here, and I really hope you follow Be That Woman podcast. So I'll just give you a bit of a background to it. So Be That Woman podcast is exactly as the name speaks into it. So it's a podcast centered around women, but I'll also come to talk about how men also plug into the podcast.
Okay.
So it's a space that I created for women who are choosing to grow, to heal, to build themselves, who want to show up with a lot of intention and navigate life. So I do have a background in finance,
Okay.
and I really thought about how it's been so hard for me to navigate career discussions, finance, money conversations. And we never have such a platform that is dedicated to women specifically on how, our dynamics may be a bit different from the men. So for me, it was just looking for all this information because there is a point in my life I've really thought about moving to different careers, moving to different platforms, moving to different just stages in my life, but I don't know where exactly to get this information. So for me, it was just not from a gap of seeing we don't have enough spaces for women specifically that felt safe, that felt real, that felt powerful. So I stopped waiting for one and decided to build it myself. So for me, Be That Woman is just for that woman who is figuring it out. And I like walking the journey of struggle to see how the struggle led to success. So that's
Amazing. So
roughly.
I saw a bit about your podcast, and I see that you focused on women and entrepreneurs specifically, and you had a lot of data to share. Are you able to share some of that data with us now that can explain to us why you chose this niche specifically?
Yes, absolutely. So for me actually it was interesting, even as you, if you can see my most recent reel, is that women represent 58% of the self-employed population. So this shows that women are really trying to tap into the entrepreneurship gap that's there. So it's been moving from a point of the African culture especially tends to, I don't know, I don't want to call it confine or just place women in a certain way, that women are expected to be at home taking care of the kids and everything. But these days you see that the two-thirds rule, especially in companies, even big companies, is being applied actively. So I would say women are stepping into more spaces, and even from the conversations with my guests, they talk about how women are the best performing employees. I'm saying this treading carefully so that I do not offend any man watching.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
it's time. It's been a revolution, I would say, especially around women. And for me, starting this came also from a point of I went to a women only event and I saw the kind of questions that were being asked. So women tend to have that accommodation of, they want to learn more, they want to tap into new species. Is that a money market fund? We want to go there. Is that a way? So men tend to be so into routine also. So for them, trying to convince them may take a bit longer than it would take the women. So for me, it was from a point of let's support the women first, and the women are the people who are going to support us in our communities, in our families, and still in our society. So the statistics show that women are really trying to level up, especially now. And speaking into it, my podcast has about 70% women
Oh wow, so
and
audience.
30%.
Okay,
Yes, the audience
that's
is
interesting.
70% women and 30% men. And as you can see from the statistics, also, you can tend to see that not just women in Kenya, women across Africa. So I think that's where I've seen that the need is not just in Kenya, the need is global. So we need to reach every woman everywhere, wherever they are. That is the main goal
Yeah.
for Be That Woman.
That is a very important conversation to have. I see Kambura said she loves it, that you said you should build it yourself, no waiting for people. And
Yes,
Melody said, as a woman, we cannot wait for the table to be made for us. We have to create it ourselves. It
I
is
love it.
inspiring to hear this from you, Joy. So again, if you're joining us, please, if you have a podcast, write it in the comments. We'd love to know where you're joining us from as well. And if you have any questions as we go along, please type them in. We will ask Joy to answer them. We will be happy to answer your questions as well. So, as you're planning your podcast, so you saw the gap, you decided that you need to do something about it. Why podcasting? And what was the thought behind the structure of your podcast?
Yes, very good question. So, if you just check statistics and data right now, podcasts are the in thing. currently. And that is because people are craving information, a lot of information, and can be educative, it can be motivational kind of information, but people are really craving information. And just speaking on to what kind of structure went behind it, is that why I went through the route of doing the video instead of just the audio bit of it is that, as you can see, YouTube is among the best performing platforms in 2025. And if you check statistics, you'll see it's almost about even 90% of people are looking for information on YouTube compared to going to Google. So for me, it was a very intentional, just to tap into this market of people who are there. And the structure that went behind it is a lot. So it's not easy work having a podcast.
It's
It's
not.
easy to have the idea, but execution bit of it is really hard. So I would tell you how for me it went by. I really always thought I can do everything by myself. So, I have my Canva Pro, I can do my editing and everything. So surprisingly, you need a whole team. No man is an island. And for you to get to that quality or that, good output of information, you really need people to support you. So from social media, from just putting up the production of it, putting it out on YouTube, the scheduling, you need to do a lot of research for it. So how I do mine is, for example, right now I'm in the process of almost launching season 2. And so what I do is I come up with topics that have been really requested, especially in the comment section. So I do a lot of going through feedback. It's a very important. So you see where the people are craving for the information from. So for me, I noticed so many people are craving for money conversations, and that's exactly where I wanted to tap into. So I do sit down, I write the topic. So maybe I'd say, today I want to talk about real estate. So when I talk about real estate, I do a script. So what are the most sorry, I think I need to get some water. But what are the most asked questions in real estate right now, 2025? What are people really asking? So Google helps a lot with getting that. We have ChatGPT that people really need to use actively. So you can even center your questions and say, I want to know about real estate in Kenya. And you'll get most of the questions that are being asked. So I come up with a script of those questions. I try not to send them to my guests because I want my conversations to be very authentic. So I just scheme and tell them, I want us to talk roughly about real estate. So you just come with your expertise and your brilliance of what exactly you've been doing, and let me just guide the conversations. So through that, having a script helps me a lot, just in terms of managing time, because time can really fly when you're really shooting a podcast.
It does.
So having that script really helps out. And do a lot of research. Watch other podcasts, I would say. For me, one of the podcasts that has really been commendable for me and is in line with what I do is Financially Incorrect. And I love the structure of just how the conversations bring out different aspects of the guest. So it's not just centered around what you want to get out of the guest. It's centered about knowing the guests, getting to know them on a deeper level, the family, everything. So I think it takes a lot of work in the back end for you to just see what's on the front end. But I treat each episode like I'm talking to my audience and addressing their needs.
Amazing. So you talked about having video, and I know you also have audio. So I'm sure it might be a question that comes up is how are you able to, do you do it video first, where that's the priority, or how do you get the video and audio to get together? How does that work in the editing process as well?
Oh, yes, a very good question. So for the production team, what I do tell them is I mainly need, so once you have the video ready, so if you've used editing tools actively, you'll see there's a where you have the video, then where you have the audio bit of it.
Right.
So you can extract only audio.
Okay.
So mostly for these platforms, especially Spotify and Apple Podcasts, they allow you to upload MP3 audios. So when you extract it, you extract it as an MP3 audio. For the videos, I try to keep them clear, but also not so clear to 4K that people have issues with their internet and can't see it. So I keep it at 1080p always.
Okay.
Yeah.
Afripods is also an option for hosting. If you're thinking of hosting your podcast, be sure to check us out as well. So how do you position your podcast? So you're talking about finance for women specifically. How do you position your podcast to stand out from a crowded financial podcast landscape, for
Mm,
example? Yeah.
yes, yes. So I try not to focus on going viral. So for me, I focus on depth. And if you can tell, I have podcasts which are performing extremely well, others which are also not performing really well, and it's okay. So that's what I taught myself. It's very much okay. So focus on the depth, because being intentional is so important, so that you're not trying to just, if you're chasing that going viral, it will never come. So for me, I focus on the content a lot. So how I position my podcast is, find a niche. Find a niche. Doesn't have to be women. It can be anything. Just find a niche that works for you. We have so many podcasts all over Spotify, when you go to YouTube. So how will people, what is your why? How will people identify you? How will people separate you from the crowd? And for me was just that, women with a knack of finance. So I sought, after a lot of research, I sought also opinions just from people who've already done it. And I was able to know that these conversations would be nice to have. These conversations are lacking. We'd like to hear more of them. So Be That Woman, for me, is usually a tone of helping another woman. So depth over hype.
Okay, depth over height. That is the quote.
Yeah.
So we're here to talk about monetization
Yes.
specifically. And is there something in your structure as you were thinking about your podcast? Was monetization a priority for you? Did you structure it in with monetization in mind? How did that go?
Yes. Interesting. So when people say we make money out of YouTube, I was like, where? How? Show me the ways. So I think when I was starting, I didn't know actually how we can make money. All I knew was you can make money out of brand partnerships.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I wasn't focusing really on um where is the money, which platform, which partner is good to start collaborating with, so that I get. So for me, monetization came when I reached 1,000 subscribers in, I don't know, 2 weeks, and I was so
Amazing.
shocked. Thank you. I was so shocked. How did this happen? So when I reached 1,000 is when they're telling me, okay, now your platform is viable for monetization. So starting it, I didn't even know where, how. So I did a lot of YouTube research. YouTube really helps. So I did a lot of research of how do you monetize your platform? What kind of content would you need to put out? So it's very important to know what kind of content that YouTube algorithm also prioritizes. Also the timings of setting up your podcast help with how viral your podcast would go. So monetizing is just a lot of factors, but understanding the algorithm helps. So for now, where I'm sitting, I've made about 6,000 Kenya shillings.
Oh
I
wow.
think that is about $60. Yes. And I don't know how it's grown overnight, but I think consistency, and also the more people watch your podcasts, the more, YouTube starts recognizing that this podcast is a finance kind of podcast, so they start suggesting it for other viewers. So for me, monetization was never a priority in my mind, and that's what I tell everyone who's wanting to start a podcast. Don't think about the money aspect of it, because you will you will give up so fast. You will throw your whole business plan in the dustbin.
Yeah, true. It's
So
hard to monetize, but it's
it's
it's it's
hard to money.
possible.
It's possible, and that's the word. It's possible, but it's very hard, as you can see. Currently I've had about a total of, I would say, 100,000 views and about 1 million impressions,
Oh
and I've
wow.
made just 6,000 shillings.
Right.
Shillings. So you can tell you need a lot more, a lot more to get to money that can actually support you with your initiatives.
Very true. And when it comes to like your algorithm and everything, is it that you researched what time was best first, or did you release a couple of episodes and then decide based on that and maintain that as you went along?
Yes, Yes, I have a policy of fail faster. So you fail now, then you improve. So I failed a lot. When I was releasing, I didn't do a lot of research. So I just was from a point of posting it whenever it's ready, and then we were rushing with the editor last minute. Umetuma, umetuma, have you sent? Where is it? So I noticed that was really hurting me because what I've read and I've researched a lot on is that YouTube needs time to understand what kind of content it is, then now push it out to the right viewers. So, for example, when you're putting out an episode, you're not supposed to put it immediately and publish it. So you put it the previous day, about 24 hours is recommendable. Put it 24 hours before, then YouTube in the back end is actually reading who to push that post to. So I've noticed the episodes that I've done this with have really gone far and wide. So schedule,
Post it as, or you schedule it first. Okay.
yes, schedule it a day before preferably. Then the 24 hours, I would say. Schedule it. Put the captions really matter also. So I do look for keywords. So there are platforms where you can get keywords. You can use Google keywords actively. You can also just research on YouTube which other platforms are good for getting keywords. So I have one called tag. I don't know. I'll get it for you. But tag keywords, something tag keywords. So you're able to see what's trending, what hashtags are trending right now, what words are people actively searching on YouTube. Then now when you're creating a thumbnail, it really helps you to put out a text that is really being researched. Because if I see a thumbnail right now and I see something that is captivating, I'll definitely click on it. So your thumbnail has a lot to do with it. The title that you give it has a lot to do with it. Keep it short and direct to the point, I would say. And yeah, the rest YouTube does for you.
And do you have any tips for the audio side of it? Have you seen anything happening on the audio side of it that you can give as tips as well? Because I know from working in podcasting and from having a podcast, consistency is very important.
Yes.
So when you tell your audience, if it's Tuesday at 5 o'clock, it better be there Tuesday at 5. Because if it's at 5:01, you're probably getting messages being like the episode isn't out, what's happening. So is there any tips you can give from the audio side as well?
Yes, I like how you said consistency. Always schedule before because last minute you'll find so many things. For example, Apple Podcasts, it takes almost 48 hours to check your podcast, to go through it and sure it meets all the checks. So if you're doing it last minute when you're supposed to be dropping it, it won't drop immediately. Spotify also sometimes has its downtimes and its times when it's working well. So always schedule, I would say, especially for the audio bit of it, always schedule before. For me, the audio podcasts have really been pushed depending on the title. So I noticed the title of the podcast that I've put on Spotify. I try to alter the title from YouTube
Okay.
and take it
Interesting.
on, yes, so that you can see different kinds of, it's like A/B testing. You can test it here and test it here and see, okay, people are really liking this side. So maybe it has to be that. So I do a lot of that. So the title has a lot of effect because we don't have a lot of visuals. So whatever you put also in your description, use the main words in, capture the key points, the hot topics, and just put them in your description point. Because when someone is searching finance topics or just investment topics, if you have investment in your description or somewhere in your title, you're prioritized. So choose your keywords always.
Amazing. Yeah, you're right. Because as a hosting platform as well at Afripods, if you upload your episode, when you're distributing, different distributors take a while before they pick the podcast. So it's dependent on whatever platform you have. So it is important to have it scheduled in advance so that your people know whether it's that day or at least 24 hours after they'll have access to the podcast. I'll go to the comments. BHS says we share knowledge in marine life in Indian Ocean. Our latest season is up now, so make sure you check them out. Lara is asking, how do you get more people to watch the podcast? Maybe you can give a bit of insight into
Yeah,
that.
yes, a very good question. I do a lot of ads. So visibility is important. So I really prioritize, especially social media ads. So don't just use the podcast platforms, use your social media actively to push the podcast. So when I was starting this podcast, my page, Be That Woman, was at 400 followers. Right now it's at 7,000 followers.
Wow.
And I
Okay.
can tell it's because the visibility has gone far and wide, far and wide. So Instagram prioritizes content that is 1 minute 30 seconds for boosting posts. So always try, if you have a podcast, ask your production team to get you some trailers or some shorts that you're going to actively put on social media, then promote them. You have to be willing to spend money to make money. So use as much as you can. The far you go, the better, because more people recognize your podcast, more people will be coming to your page. Then now, how you redirect them now to the other platforms is so important. So don't just be that person of click here to subscribe. Make it catchy, make it conversational. Use polls, use the questions. What did you think about what is your biggest investment opportunity that you've done 2025? Let people submit some questions. Do a lot of interaction and engagement. So I would say that really helps. Social media has been a very, very important bit of positioning. TikTok is a very good platform. If you're sleeping on TikTok right now, you need to awaken TikTok, because the craving for information. Even me right now, if I want to purchase something, I'll go check the reviews very fast on TikTok. And
Mm.
so use your social media
And are
platforms.
you able to see the translation from the social media numbers into the podcast numbers, like listenership?
Yes. So
Okay.
the best part about YouTube, especially, even Spotify gives you analytics, so they do tell you how many people have viewed just from the homepage, how many are external viewers, how many clicked a link from WhatsApp. So you're able to get that analytics. And I usually tell everyone who's doing a podcast, don't just post. Check your analytics. They really
True.
help you, and they've been
They
made
do.
free for everyone.
Sure.
So analytics are very free. So check them. They really help you forecast. So when you go on YouTube, you'll see YouTube Studio. You'll see a dashboard where you have how your payments, your analytics,
Mhm.
how far your numbers going, your audience, how many people are following you, what periods in the last 28 days people followed me from this platform. So all that you can get on YouTube Analytics.
Amazing. In the comments again, Nyambura says nice. It's also called falling forward, like you said, failing fast.
Yes.
And Lara says, I have been running the podcast for a while now. Great conversations with amazing guests, but the show hasn't caught up yet with more engagement. Lara, don't worry, your audience is going to find you. Now,
Yes, patience.
patience. Yeah,
Yes.
podcasting is about patience. Now, the conversation I wanted to have with you is, you had mentioned that after your first season, there were people who reached out to you with interest to monetize on your podcast. So I'm just curious, are you the one who reached out to them first? Did they find you? How did that happen? Give us as much information as you can.
Well,
Not as always. Yeah, yeah,
of
yeah.
course. I mean, who doesn't want to make some money? So,
Correct.
so for me, what I did, I did both. So I'm actually a go-getter. If I want something, I'll go get it. I'll slide in the DM. I'll reach out and present an opportunity. So
Okay.
that's how I get my guests actively.
Okay.
But coming into season 2, now you see people start getting to know you, and now they start reaching out. So for me, people who wanted to come to the podcast have been mainly me reaching out in season 1. So I go to their DM, I present the statistics. I do have a proposal that I've written. These are the impressions that I have within this period. These are the number of subscribers. These are the stories I'd like to cover with you, because I feel your platform is very intentional on this. And not just looking at the numbers, we're looking at the impact that it could have. So I try to sell value more than the numbers. And that's why you could see big brands, like when I closed season 1, I closed with Carrie.
Amazing.
And Carrie coming to a small podcast like mine is not a small feat. So
Yeah.
impact of numbers. So for me, I would say focus, your energy on trying to get the content right. So once you have your content right, everything else will speak for itself. So the analytics keep on checking and keep on presenting to your people who you want to partner with. And if you want to partner with a certain brand and you feel like they would not pay you at this instance, do free marketing. Have that Nivea bottle on the table.
On the
And just,
table.
yes, and just say Nivea has been a key important. Da-da-da-da-da. You never know, that is the episode that could probably go viral, or that is the episode that people would like, and let them see you. So even for season 2 right now, it's been so easy for me to reach out to guests, and you'll see the lineup that I have is of a very, very amazing top level guests who I never thought when starting out would ever come to the podcast.
Amazing.
So impact over numbers. Once you have that impact, people will feel ready to come to your podcast.
How do you make your podcast attractive to them? So whether it's the speakers or if it's like Carrie, are there specific things that you do to make your podcast attractive, or even the people who you're saying you'll write to in the DMs or write an email? How do you set up like your proposal? Because the way you talked about it, it's very specific. There's a part that's general, the statistics, and the part that comes in, I think you would be a good fit because in that set of it, how are you able to like approach them or set up your podcast to make it attractive to them?
Yes, very good question. So brands like aligning with people who know what they're doing in the first place.
Sure.
So start with sanitizing your social media platforms, because this is where brands will start looking for you. So if they come to your social media and they see all you do is you're out partying and bottles are just on the table, and that will chase away so many potential brands that you could have worked with. So start with sanitizing your page, all your social media pages. Then actively invest in quality. Invest in quality. So for me, I do a lot of photo shoots. I do a lot of when I'm somewhere, I like talking about it. So I want to be a brand storyteller instead of just being out there and just doing random things. We know we are so many content creators on social media these days. So what sets you apart is that quality bit of it and being a storyteller. So brands these days are actively looking for storytellers. So someone who can easily fit into their brand and talk about it. Coming to the proposals, how you present yourself is very important. I think for me, being in corporate has really helped me to some extent to know how to do pitch proposals, how to do pitch decks. But I would say in the age of AI right now, be creative. I use Gamma AI a lot, just to to prepare the proposals. So all you need to do is, I want to prepare a conversation with a guest who is speaking on saving smartly. And these are the characteristics of the guests. This is the tone that I want to use for the podcast, and make the podcast last for, this is the duration, 1 hour duration. So feed it all the information, and imagine it will generate for you a very good proposal deck. You don't have to sit down and start editing the PowerPoint one by one. So use AI actively. Yes.
And then you go in and then you just edit it based on what it is that you have in particular.
Yes, exactly. So now you edit it to give a human feel of what you do exactly, and just also try and be authentic. Know what you want. So how you use AI is important also, because what you do with AI is feed information for it to just help you give a better structure, but don't depend on it to give you the content. You're the one to think about what exactly it is you want out of it. So Gamma AI does that for you. So if you just give it a small bit of what you want, it will generate everything for you, and very smartly. And you can even tell it, I want blue and white colors. Presentation is in blue.
Because your brand is specific. Yeah, makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah. When it comes to attracting brands, what do you think is the most of the ones you have attracted? So, like, say, Kiari, is it the thing? What was the most attractive thing for them? Was it your niche? Is it your audience? Is it the content of your podcast? What is it that, from the ones you've worked with, was the most attractive part of your podcast for them?
Yes. So I think what I believe, and I did research on it, is timing is everything. So that time was when the finance bill was hot in the country. And this is the time I chose to speak about it. So think about trending, because people also listen to things that they have interest in. For example, right now in Kenya, a lot is happening. And if you find an opportunity to talk about what is happening, position yourself at that point, talk about it at that point, no matter how much you have the topics lined out. Actually, I would tell you this was the most random conversation we had. So it was a last minute. I had the finance bill topic, and Carrie reached out and they said, we want to come and add more on this and this, because some things we feel like are not well known that we need to come and talk about. So I think the timing for me really worked for me to hit that jackpot with them, but also the depth of connection with my audience. So you can tell I have a certain niche of an audience. So your audience is gold for you.
Sure.
So my audience is very invested in upgrading, upscaling, career activities, money conversations. So they can tell also the depth of the conversations. This can be very good taxpayers. So let's go there.
As
So
they earn their money, we can get more from them.
exactly. So we can get something out of them also. So so just understand your industry, what kind of industry that you want to focus in. Do a lot of research on that industry. So what is happening right now in the world? So in terms of even stock markets, for example, where is the best place to invest in stock markets? Then you find yourself talking about global trade wars. You know, that is a hot topic. People want to hear more. Even the algorithm pushes such conversations because, yeah, they're actively going on. So position yourself. Timing is very important, and depth of your conversations.
You've talked a lot about your interactive audience. You had mentioned that they rate comments and you do polls and questions. What are the other ways that you're able to get feedback from your audience, or how do you interact with them as well to help you with the statistics and everything?
Oh, yes, yes. So I do a lot of groundwork. I love the groundwork because it's very authentic. You can tell from the body language. Is someone just telling you to tell you, or are they really telling you feedback that really would help you? So filter out, first of all, feedback. Not all feedback is good feedback. Focus on constructive feedback. Don't let people throw you off your course because they're telling you, no, we feel like you should have talked about this. Instead, no, this is my podcast. Own your space and do what exactly you. Yeah, so for me, groundwork helps a lot because I'm able to ask, even for that negative feedback, because from the negative feedback is where you build. So don't take it to heart, listen to it, and just learn how to use it. So I would say the groundwork has really helped. Um, Actively, I would also say I reach out directly to people. So I will drop you a message because I know that I have a certain group of people who I know actively watch my podcast.
Okay.
So every time I drop an episode, I reach out to them and tell them, what did you think about that? What do you think? So have like a quality team, a quality team that really, really tells you raw feedback. They just don't cover and paint you. Yeah,
and tell you what you need to hear or want to
exactly.
hear.
Exactly. So for me, most of the times people have told me maybe my podcast is too long. What if you could do shorter? That's feedback, and it's good to listen because now I'm trying to also accommodate that and listen to an extent of what is the percentage of people telling you. So is it 1% or is it 50%? So learn to assess the feedback that comes in. So take feedback positively. Feedback is there to build you. So even if you're in employment, not everyone will love the work you do.
True.
You always have to be told you're messing up here, take this up. So important for that.
Amazing. So when it comes to understanding your audience, working with brands, what are some lessons you have learned based on the people who approached you? Because you had people reach out to you, or you're working with brands for your second season, especially having only done one season. Are there any lessons you have learned in the monetization journey that you feel like either you wish you knew or you would like to share with people, where this is something important for you to understand when you're going into monetization.
Yes, yes, very important question. Do a lot of research before you drop that podcast. Do a lot of research because people think it's just creating that episode and dropping it and letting YouTube decide for you. There is a lot of work that you need to do in the back end. So even for your podcast to target people outside your country, there's a certain way you need to position it. There is somewhere where you input, I need this podcast to focus on people in USA, for example. So I found that out later because for example for YouTube it pays content creators abroad much better than it does in Africa, which is a sad state of affairs, and I hope that changes.
We're
But
working on it. We're
we are
working
working
on
on it.
fixing it.
Yeah, I know Afripods is definitely putting us on the map.
Yeah.
So it's important for you now to, if you want to get all that traction from, if your content is US related content, then change your location, put that for that audience. If your if your content is also just local and you want to position it well for monetization, ensure you know this platform because they operate so differently, very differently. So you have to sit down and know what is the YouTube algorithm prioritizing right now. What is the for example, right now YouTube is prioritizing shorts. So you can see shorts are doing so well.
Yeah.
So ensure you have as many shorts as possible from your episode that lead you to the main episode. So when I was starting, I wasn't doing a lot of shorts. I just thought, since I've done my whole episode, that's fine. Let me focus on the next one.
Yeah.
But I realized you need to focus on a lot of shorts. So this changes. Every platform changes. For example, even on LinkedIn right now, LinkedIn is prioritizing the carousel posts. So move with the times. Do a lot of research, I would say. For me, research, I started doing the research after I saw one episode get 40,000 views. And I was like,
Wow.
wait, what is happening? How did this get here? So I went to the back end, checked the analytics, did a lot of research, found that so many people are watching from US and UK. So I had to focus on speaking in English to accommodate all audiences. So this is something that I've been learning through the process. But what I would say is look for a podcast that inspires you. For me, globally, I listen to Diary of a CEO almost every single day.
Yeah.
And it helps you with just upgrading your mindset and just seeing what are people really craving for. So do a lot of research, not just in Kenya, especially on global levels, because we all want to go global. We just don't want to do it locally. So I would say one of the mistakes that I did was not being so clear also about what exactly it is I want to do. So when I was starting, I was doing finance, I was doing business, I was doing lifestyle, I was doing so many things. So when people find that you're doing so many things, you don't have a focus, it's hard to identify you with something. So me deciding to focus on business and finance conversations came later, but from a need basis of saying this is what people are really asking for. So I hope that answers most of your questions.
It does. And do you have any insight on working with brands? So like the conversation, say for example with Carrie, what are the things you learned from learning about that, whether it's negotiating, things like that? Are there certain things that you learned in that as well that you can share with us?
Yes. So different brands act differently. So government brands, you'll notice, work very differently from corporate brands and from SMEs. So how your tone needs to change to accommodate different guests. So for example, I'd say for Kerry, of course, it's a government body, and whatever information goes out there needs to be well completely true. So it's not a matter of freestyling. I'll just go and freestyle. You need to have done your research.
Work. Yeah.
This is how VAT works in Kenya. So when you're asking the questions, you ask the right questions. It's important to also know the hierarchy of your guests and treat them as they deserve to be treated. So you'd find one guest you're buddy with, then the other guest, it's a very tense environment and you need to uphold high levels of ethics, you know. So
Yeah.
learn your guests, do a lot of social media due diligence. So go check the podcasts your guests have been in. What kind of conversations have they talked about in those podcasts? On social media, what kind of person are they? Are they a bubbly person or are they a serious person? Now that helps you with adjusting your tone. If you're approaching a brand that is just getting into the market, you need to bring a fun vibe out of it, and position them in terms of understand their goal also. Are they trying to get visibility out of it? Are they trying to get sales out of it? Are they trying to? So before you even give a proposition, understand their goal of coming to your podcast. So I always ask my guests, why are you coming to this podcast? Always, you'd find that's the first question. Why did you decide to come and be that woman?
Yeah.
Most of the times they say because we feel like your audience is very different.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, that is what I really caught about it. The audience is different and is focused on a certain kind of topic. Then also they tell me uh, because you put yourself out there in a very professional way. So not to say that everyone needs to be professional, depending on the kind of podcast you're doing,
Podcast.
understand
Right.
what you want. So your why is very important.
Okay. So from the first season, are there any mistakes that you made that you learned from that you would like to share, or if you wish you knew, from the first season and that you will use now to improve season two?
Yes. Oh yes. The last minutes with the editor. So let me tell you, dropping weekly is not easy, and editing a podcast is also not easy. So we underestimate it a lot. So one hot tip I'd give people before you release the next season, and this is the why I've taken a bit of time to release the second season, plan for 3 episodes. At least you have 3 episodes ready so that you're not doing last minute. So for me, I was after I launched this episode, now we start rushing to the next episode, and now
Including
so
like recording and everything in the week? Oh,
yes,
wow.
yes. So I found that I'm spending so much time up and down, then I have to sit down and edit. I like the episodes to be with how I want them to be, so I do it myself. I
Okay.
let the editor do everything. So I'm the one who sits down and I'll be like, cut this part, put in this part, and I'm still trying to figure out a better way of doing it because it takes up a lot of time. But for me, I think it has helped me because my podcasts come with a feel of me, of how I want them to be. So I would say record 3 episodes early enough, ensure they're all edited before you launch the season. So you'll always be 3 weeks ahead.
Okay.
3 weeks
Thank you.
ahead, yes.
Yeah.
So that is one thing I'm really learning the hard way. And as much as you get angry at the editor, there's just so much they can do. So
But recording is important. It's a good way to help with podcasts for sure, because
exactly,
podcasts end up being a lot of work.
yeah,
Um, I just want to touch on something you had mentioned earlier about advertising on social media.
yes,
I'm curious about, because a lot of people wonder about how much money they should spend on social media, because there's a conversation about, should you actually advertise? Does it make a difference? And from what you told us, it actually translates into your streams at the end
yes.
of the day. So could you give us maybe a glimpse into what the budgeting for that looks like? Are there certain things you push more or less? What's your timeline like and things like that?
Yes. So there's nothing wrong. Let no one tell you that there's anything wrong with advertising. Everyone does advertise. Even big brands do advertising because they want to be out there. As much as your brand can speak for itself,
Mm.
there's one more person who didn't know about it, and one more person who didn't know about it. So it's very important. As much as we're chasing organic followers, the followers who come to your podcast will stay because your content is authentic. So there's nothing wrong with putting yourself out there. So I would say, for me, the platforms that I actively use are Instagram and TikTok. Uh, Facebook, I've not seen it convert so much. I don't know for what reasons. I think Facebook just has its moments as well, but
Yeah.
understanding it would be nice because it's also has a very good audience there.
Yeah. That's
So
fine.
For Instagram and TikTok, it's a very affordable. So you decide, your budget helps you decide how long do you want to advertise for. And the more you keep on advertising, the more they recommend you to increase your budget to reach wider audiences. So for Instagram, I think the minimum that you can spend is about 200 and something, 260. I think 260 per day. However, that will give you about, I would say, usually I think is about 2,000 impressions to 5,000. So the more money you add, the wider the impressions. So for me, I always target getting about 10,000 impressions on one video.
Okay.
Yeah, on one post, exactly. So if you can increase your budget and just prioritize on quality, so advertise the quality, the contents that you think are very, people are really looking for. You don't have to advertise everything. Sometimes you also need to see, are organic people coming to my
Yeah.
to my page or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I give it one day first of all, just to see how people interact with it. So that will preempt you to see people are really liking this content, promote it more. So that's what I do. TikTok is actually way more affordable than Instagram. And over there on Instagram, if you're using an iPhone, you also get to be charged the Apple service fee, which is so expensive. So I
Yeah.
always use my laptop. So use the Instagram website and you won't get that
Interesting.
Apple service fee. And that Apple service fee is exorbitant. It's almost, yeah, it's almost the amount if you doing an ad with the 260, you'll find the Apple service fee is half of that,
Oh,
almost
wow.
130. So many people don't know that. So it's good to use your PC and go to the Instagram website, or use an Android phone or any other phone that's not a, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you save money on that. TikTok is way more affordable. So they have different categories. So do you want to get more video views? Do you want to get more followers? So depending on your need, understand your need. Mostly for me is usually to get more people on my platform. So I don't chase views, I chase engagement. So
Community,
yeah,
right?
community. So look at it like that. I think it's about 120 on the lowest side. So it's so affordable. So if you can just seclude some money from the onset and say, this is my ads money, and write down. I have a sheet where I write down and say, this money I invested converted to this, added these new followers for me. So it's good for you to track. Otherwise, you'll just be spending money, and not seeing any returns.
And when you're targeting your ads, do you use it based on your statistics that you have from the platform, or do you widen it for new audiences, or is it a
I wi-
mixture of both?
I widen it. I tried using that bit of let me create my own audience, but I've realized the algorithm actually has a better way of identifying the audience. So these social media platforms keep on improving their algorithms, so they get smarter with time. So I would say use their algorithm, but if you have a specific people that you want to target, maybe people in Nairobi, in the real estate, you can do that as well, but it will limit. So always target a wider audience. You never know.
Okay. Then when it comes to figuring out monetization, right? What advice would you give a podcaster who's just starting?
Hmm.
So whether it's on making money from the platforms, or it's making money from brands or approaching the brands, what would be your piece of advice for them?
Mm-hmm. So monetization becomes easier when the foundation is solid. That's very important. So again, don't focus on the monetization bit of it. Focus on consistency, creating a connection authentically with your audience, then let the monetization come after. So for example, you have to, if you're building a house, you have to build your house even before guests start coming in, you understand? So even
Yeah.
before monetization comes in or people identify your brand, your house has to be up and solid. So I would say that is the advice, especially for podcasters who are beginning, because getting to 1,000 subscribers is not easy. But once you get there, somehow it starts getting easier.
Yeah.
So even for me, I don't know how I got to almost 4,000 subscribers now. I don't know how I got to, but after I hit the 1,000 mark, it started now just going. So focus on getting to that 1,000 with authenticity, first of all. Then the rest will come. Mostly, I would say, in Africa, unfortunately, we're not paid as such as compared to globally. So
I promise you, we're working on it.
are you working on it? We love to hear that. So if you're prioritizing your content, focus on quality that can be prioritized globally. That way, global brands even reach out to you. So even for me, I've noticed I have a very huge following in diaspora, especially in the US. So I get a lot of them who are reaching out to me.
Amazing.
So it's very good to be very consistent and quality. Choose a production team. Don't just do reja things in your, well, it's okay to start in your bedroom and, but if you're chasing big brands coming forth, you have to put in the investment and the work.
You've talked about having money for production. Why
Yeah.
did you save fast? Or because I know a lot of people, the thing is, because it's starting and it's hard and you're not making money from the podcast yet.
Yes.
So you've spoken a lot about investing into it. How do you determine how much you should spend or determine what production team you're working with? What was your experience in that sense?
Very good question. Follow Be That Woman to see how to invest and save your money smartly, because it has been a very important factor for me. So when I was starting, I didn't know where to start. I didn't even know the production team. I did my own research on social media platforms. So I think for me, I prayed about it. I really prayed about it. And I feel like the first person I talked to was not aligning with my vision and all that. The second person I talked to was living in my vision. So they started talking about this is what you can do. So look for a production team that advises you. So you're not in this journey alone. If you're sourcing a production team, get an able team, because this is the team that will define you or break you. So for me, it was alignment, and it was them speaking into my purpose. They understood my impact and what I wanted to create out of it. And they advised me. They'd be like, no, Joy, actually don't do this episode fast. Focus on these topics. So get a team that understands you. Pray about it. God listens. So that would be my first factor, I would say. And just I would say keep on doing that research, because it's so important to get a team that really aligns with your vision. For money purposes, let me tell you, I exhausted most of my savings when doing season 1.
Amazing.
Because of poor planning. Mm. So this poor planning comes from not knowing how many episodes you want, how many social media trailers do you want. So I just kept on sending, okay, send me one trailer, I'll send you money. Send me this episode, I'll send you. So sit down with your production team, plan out, have a structure, a proper structure. So out of one episode for me, I get one trailer and about 3 shots. So I told them, give me a package for this per episode. If I pay fully, give me a discount out of it. So negotiation power is important. So you can tell them, I want to pay fully for 10 episodes for season 1. So allow me to get a discount of, so for example, the studios that I shoot with give me a discount of about 30% if I pay upfront.
Oh, that's good.
Which is good.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
so proper planning really helps you with budgeting, and be ready to spend money. Shooting a podcast is not easy. I will say, yes, I've spent a lot of money in the hundreds of thousands just shooting this. But if you can get your equipment in the house, and that's what I'm working towards, getting one thing. So I have a ring light, for example, right now, getting the microphones, pole pole. Use your iPhone where you can. Start small. Don't let anything tell you that you need to be big to start. So where you can invest, dedicate your investment, because it always pays off. For me, I've seen all the returns that have come with me going deep into my pocket, because now even in season 2, I'm partnering with brands who are bringing back the money. So the money will always come back if you invest in quality.
Okay, so the money that goes out comes back in if you invest in quality.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time. Before we leave, let us know where we can find you. Let us know anything you would like us know where we need to follow you, how we can support you. When
Yes.
is season 2 dropping? Tell us everything.
Yes, very many people have been waiting for season 2, and I did it intentionally to bring quality. Again, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. So there's no need to rush. Don't let anyone tell you, no, why are you taking a break? No, I took a break personally to understand the kind of feedback that I was getting. I sat down with my analytics intensely, like I checked. So I can see like 20% of my followers are from US. So what are the current topics happening in US right now? That's what I focus now my topics to be on this platform. So I would say take your time. Season 2 is launching this July, next week actually. I have a launch and I'm doing a live launch of season
Oh,
2
wow.
on Friday. Yes.
Cool. You can give
So
us the details. Where can we find the details about that,
yes.
your launch and everything?
Yes. So the launch is happening. It's a private launch at the moment
Okay.
because I was managing numbers first of all.
It's
But
important.
no, definitely for the next season, I'm planning to do a live recording as well in August or September. So I know I'll definitely invite so many people, and everyone who's here will get a free ticket. So you
Oh,
can give me
yay, free
the names of
tickets.
everyone. Yes, give me the
So
names of
come
everyone.
and claim them. Come and claim them in our DMs, and we'll send the
Yes,
names to Joy, and you can get your free ticket for her live show.
exactly. Happening in August or September. For the episode, for season 2, it's launching on 17th July next week on Thursday. Same time, usually we do 7 p.m. East Africa time. So same time, same place. And I'm excited to just bring these conversations because I feel like I've polished, you polish as you go. So
Yeah.
when you start, it won't be so good. You'll watch yourself and be like, hey, what was I talking about? What am I don't look good. You criticize yourself a lot. But sitting through those and watching and learning from it has helped me make season 2 so much better. So I know these conversations will be so powerful. So check me out on all platforms. YouTube, we are almost hitting 4,000 subscribers. Join me there with
Congratulations.
the road to 10,000. Social media, my Instagram personal is Joey Mido, JoeyMido, or Be That Woman podcast. Follow us, same as TikTok, same names. TikTok, I'm also active on LinkedIn. I get a lot of traction on LinkedIn. And if you're not on
That's a
LinkedIn,
good
please
platform.
join LinkedIn. Yes. So find me on Joy Mido on all platforms or Be That Woman podcast. And
Amazing. Thank you so much for making the time to be here with us and sharing your
absolutely.
gems. I have been your host, Gavani. I work with Afripods, like I mentioned before. We are free hosting and distribution platform focused on the African storyteller. So check us out, afripods.africa. You can start your podcast today for free. If you're hosted on a different platform, we'd love to have your podcast there as well. So submit it because, again, we're focused on the African storyteller and audience. We have over 50 local languages that you can use to speak your podcast in or whatever it is. So reach out to us if your language is not there as well. We're here to serve you. If there's anything as well you want to see on the platform, statistics and everything, let us know. Joy, thank you so much for being with us. We also want to have your podcast. You should submit it.
Yes,
And
actually, when we think
AfriPods.
about this, I'm like, why am I not there? I need to
You
join
need
and I will be talking
to
to
come
you.
on Afripods as well. Yeah. We'd be happy
Yes,
to host you or have your podcast.
definitely.
And thank you so much for making time to be with us. Everyone who joined the live, thank you for being here. And be sure to support Joy on all her platforms. Thank you,
Thank
Joy.
you,
Have a
Gadani, and thank you
good
everyone.
evening.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.